Introduction to Functions Practice Test. Number 1, it says express each relation as a table, a graph, and a mapping, then determine the domain and range. So for the table, we're going to start by looking at our x's. We want them in order from small to big. -6, then -2, then -1, and then 0. For the mapping, -6, -2, -1, 0. We also want the y's in order for the mapping. -4, 1, 2, and 5. If there are duplicates, you only write them once. Arrows between the two. Okay, for domain, we're going to write down our x's. -6, -2, -1, and 0. And for the range, we write down the y's with the squiggly parentheses. -4, 2, 1, and 5. -6, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. -2 up 2. -1 up 1. 0 up 5. Number 2 and 3, it says express the relation as an ordered pair. So, here we went from this to this. Here we're going from this to that. So we start with number 2. We've got -6, and -6 goes to 1. -2 goes to -2. 0 goes to -3, and 4 goes to 3. On this one, we've got the point -3, 2. We've got the point -2, -2. -1, -1. 1 and 3. And 4 and 2. Okay. On 4 through 7, it says determine whether each relation is a function and explain. For number 4, we look right here. Do the x's repeat? No. So because the x's don't repeat, yes, it is a function because the x's don't repeat. Number 5, I'm looking at the x's. I've got 5, 7, 8, and -3. Yes, it is a function because the x's don't repeat. And you do need to have the explanation as to why. Number 6, y equals 3x minus 9. That's y equals mx plus b. That's going to be linear. So yes, because it's linear. If it's a straight line, it is. With one exception, x equals 21 is a vertical line. And if it passes the vertical line test, the x repeats. It repeats over and over and over at 21. So because the vertical line test, it is not a function. Okay, over the next page. List the x and y intercepts. The x-intercept, we come right here. The x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis. -3 and 0. The y-intercept is up here. Crosses the y-axis. 0 and 7. 9 and 10. Or number 9 and 10, it says list the x-intercepts and y-intercepts, then graph. So number 9, the x-intercept is when x equals 0. So I take x equals 0, and I'm going to put a 0 into this equation. Y equals 2 times 0 plus 4. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 4. Y equals 4. I end up with the point 0, 4. That is your x-intercept. When x equals 0 is your y-intercept. I said that wrong. When x equals 0, that is your y-intercept. If you just put a 4, I would accept it, but 0, 4 is the proper way. Okay, then we say y equals 0. Y equals 0, we put a 0 equals 2x plus 4 minus the 4 on both sides. I get -4 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2, and I get -2 equals x. -2, comma, 0. Once you have your intercepts, you can graph it by going over 2, up 0, and over 0, up 4, and connect the lines. Or alternately, you could start by saying y equals 2x plus 4, graph at 4, and then figure out what the intercepts are and then do number 9. That is definitely a good option. On 11 and 12, it says use the tables to determine the equation of each line. So our intercept is where x is 0, so that's going to be y equals, and we know our intercept is negative 6. Our slope, from 2 to 6, I go up 4. From 4 to 6, I go up 2, 5, 6. 4 over 2 is 2. Y equals 2x minus 6. Okay, number 12. 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Negative 6, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2. Our intercept is negative 2. I counted to get 0 on the table because it wasn't on the table to start. Each on this side, I'm going down 1. On this side, I'm going up 2. Y's go on top, so my equation y equals down 1 over 2. Negative 1/2 x minus 2. Okay, on number 13, it says find the function equation and label the independent and dependent variables for the following story. I am going to open a bank account with $200. I am going to deposit $35 per week. I'm going to open a bank account with $200. I'm going to deposit $35 per week. The total amount of money in the account is a function of the number of weeks it is open. So, my function, y equals 35 per week. Per tells me that's what my slope is. My starting amount was 200, 35x plus 200. The independent variable, that is my x. What does the x represent? The x represents weeks. The dependent variable is the y. Well, the y is the total in my bank account. How much money is in my account? Okay. For 14 through 19, use the information given in the story below, fill in the 4-box chart. So our story is, Vince begins a new job designing computer games. His starting salary is $50,000, and each year he's promised an $8,000 raise. The equation would be y equals 8,000x plus 50,000. Which means year 0, when he very first starts, he's making $50,000 a year. After 1 year, he's making $58,000 because he went up by 8,000. After 2 years, he's making $66,000. After 3 years, he's making $74,000. After 4 years, he's making $82,000. After 5 years, it would be $90,000. On the graph, you have to label the axis. This is years. This is money. So we start out at 50,000, and we go up 8,000 each year. The domain would be from 0 years to infinite. The range, smallest amount he makes is 50,000, up forever. The rate of change is 8,000. What does it represent in the story? It represents his salary increase. The x-intercept is going to be harder. We're going to come back to that one. The y-intercept is 50,000. That's his starting salary. The x-intercept doesn't represent anything, but the x-intercept would be found by saying y is 0. So it would be 50,000, negative 50,000 over 8,000. Y equals 8,000, x plus 50,000. We plug in a 0. Is the function continuous or discrete? It is discrete because he doesn't get his salary at he doesn't increase his salary at half a year. Have a good day.